Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I found on my Twitter feed today a tweet that Mr. Kitao put out. I think he was a little off on his coordination. Usually when those press releases go out, everybody is instructed to let them out at the same time. But Ashish Burla and Brad Garlinghouse, their tweets came about an hour after Mr. Kitao did. However, it's really big news. Yeah, I was going to take the day off, but there is just too much going on. I can't wait to share this with you. I'm going to do the details in a mini deep dive. But what I want to talk about in this video is short, and I didn't want to mix the two, because how can you take news like new ODL corridors coming and mix it up with what the SEC is doing? This news that I'm going to share with you, I learned in opening my email when I first woke up, and I got a letter that's titled "The Future of Crypto is at Risk," because I'm a registered LBRY user, which is an alternative to YouTube. It's a platform for content creators. I received a copy of the complaint that the SEC is alleging that LBRY has participated in unregistered security offerings. This is just unbelievable. The SEC clearly is stifling innovation. The accessibility and creativity that is inspired by blockchain is really being squashed. And I'm not an alarmist. I'm not someone that enjoys over exaggeration, but I can tell you here that this is really getting serious. LBRY never engaged in an ICO, which is an initial coin offering. And this move by the SEC is really going to destroy blockchain, the blockchain industry as we know it. And Jeremy is right, and so is John Deaton. They were both on the channel and talked about how this was going to be a step-by-step grab to control and to completely overreach into this space. So please share it, because there is a link to a petition in this letter that went out to everyone. And I want to also make a huge request. We have to be smart in how we use social media. So when you share information like this, you really want to include an audience that has the power to rein in this overreach by the SEC, and that, of course, would be the U.S. Congress, specifically the members of the U.S. House Committee on Financial Services. Tweeting and sharing only to your inner circle is just an echo chamber. It's kind of a waste of a tweet, really. The power lies in the numbers of social media, and we need to reach various members that are crucial to overseeing this change. All of them are on Twitter. I want you to keep the pressure up so that they do what they were elected to do, which is to serve the people. And I'm going to put a link to the list in the description below, and it's not hard to find their social media contacts. It looks just something like this. So I tweeted this out about its advancing an aggressive and disastrous new standard that would make almost all blockchain tokens securities. And I know Maxine Waters is totally clueless, but she needs to know what's going on. Then I found another member that I thought would be interested, and also Representative Tom Emmer. Now, I'm not going to always tweet the same people, and I think that's also an important strategy, is to change and mix up the people that you are putting this information out to, in front of, because yeah, you don't want to just always bombard the same people. We want to hit everyone that is part of the U.S. House Committee on Financial Services. All right, so on top of that, wow, One River Digital Asset Management welcomes Jay Clayton, former chair of the SEC, to their newly formed advisory council. How ironic is this? The management team is peppered with legacy banking experiences. They have offices in Connecticut and Santa Barbara. And in December, they made big waves when it brought its holdings of BTC and Ethereum to $1 billion. And that is just really unbelievable when you think about how this company was communicating that they believed Bitcoin was so wildly underpriced. And they were bragging about how Coinbase was going to execute their trade in custody for them. That's good on them. Okay. But what is so revealing is now the apparent bias of both Hinman and Clayton had, I think, easily proving a conflict of interest. It's just so brazen, just so brazen. So I'm really glad to see that we've got support of people who are pushing this market into some amazing price levels, because it does bring the whole entire market up with it when Bitcoin and Ethereum do well. But you have to allow the market to make the decision of what projects are going to be successful. This is not up to the SEC to make the decision, or a few legacy bankers that have really, really taken Bitcoin under their wings, which is also ironic to think of, at least according to the white paper, what the intention of this digital asset was supposed to be. It's just not going in the way I think a lot of people figured it was going to go. And John Deaton says that he's been pounding the table for weeks that the crypto community needs to come together and unite against this overreaching government. And yeah, I couldn't agree more. So I guess I have one more request in this video, and that is if you hear anybody talking down other projects, I think you need to just be vocal and say, no, that kind of narrative is not helping anybody in this space. So I don't want to have people just turn their heads and say, well, that's what this person believes. No, I don't think we should do that, because if you are invested in this space, or if you have any interest in the technology and you have some real passion for how it is solving real problems for the little people in the world, then you shouldn't stay silent. You should speak out when you hear people putting down other projects. It's just not right. All right, everybody, what am I going to do? I am going to talk about Tranglo in the next video, but before that, let's just do a tiny bit of really fun fluff. I found on Sora News that they are looking at 5 different examples of pretty interesting and very different sign language, or body language, or gesture, I should say, that exists in Japan that you don't have in the West. And unless you live here, it probably looks a little foreign. What you see here is a way to say thank you, and it comes from sumo. When a sumo wrestler wins, the gyoji, which is like the referee, will hand an envelope that has money inside, and he makes the wrestler, when he wins, he accepts the envelope, and then he makes the sign in kanji of kokoro, and then puts his hand on top as kind of a polite thank you. You can see it briefly in this video. Okay, here's another one that is probably different for you. These are 2 heads bowing. So when you want to say hello to someone in a fun way, but you don't want to do the bow, you just want to go like this, it's a very polite way to say, like, hello, good afternoon. And then the third one is when you do a sign for convenience store, because 99.9% of them are 24 hours, it's 2, 4. So you get 2 and 4, 24 hours. That's your sign for convenience store. The fourth one is one that I don't use because I come from the West and I just feel very uncomfortable using this one. This is what's used to describe your older brother So your oni-chan. And then when you go down, this is your ototo. That's your little brother, your younger brother. Yeah. I can't even barely do it for you in this video when I'm trying to do it very educational. And then this is busu, which is ugly. So if a and this is really particularly used just for women. So if you think somebody is ugly, you can just go. And it means, it's funny, huh? Yeah, there is a book that actually has 70 different gestures that are found in Japan that are really not found in the United States. I think almost all of them are completely unique, like how to show money, how to say excuse me, just tons of ways. Maybe I'll do some more in the future. But for now, I want to get going on that other video, and I will say take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.